it's the Bug Jam. Yeah. You know, it's the Bug Jam. Oh, the Bug Jam. What?
The hand key. Rocker shaft broken. So obviously just then seized everything up solid, and the push rods just come up and whacked the remains of the shaft straight out into the rocker cover and pushed the rocker cover off.
I think it is what the man said.
Well, that's right. So won't know until we get the engine part whether it's damaged anything else further down the valve train or not. But hopefully the push rods would have taken all the brunt, you know.
Consistency takes that win. Well, these two gentlemen have met several times this year, and I've often said that I think Keith Seume will probably want to ban Volksrods completely from all elimination, because Jeff Copson really has handed him a pasting throughout the year. That little Volksrod, a lot of problems earlier on in the weekend. We saw a pushrod break, and Jeff sidelined for a while. We thought we may not see the giant killer as modified here this weekend. But both the cars now completing their burnouts. The 52 No Mercy split of Keith Seume. I'm sure his fan club will be up there somewhere in the grandstand, raincoat in hand. We wait for the cars to come forward into stage. There goes Keith Seume, just dropping the wheels forward that last few inches. See the handicap there for Jeff Copson. Now we sit and wait. Keith Seume's got to be patient. Lifts the front wheels a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a stumble there as he changed gear. Could that cost him the race? Jeff Copson heading for that finish line. Keith Seume bearing down on him as we speak. Let's see who takes the win. And it's Keith Seume that takes that win. But just looking back, Jeff Copson actually wins. The car has been bad news for him this year. Really has not had the measure of consistency it's going to take to win his modified division. Keith Seume, of course, the editor of Volksworld, with that 52 split window of his, very low to the ground. Very similar to Nick Beaumont's. I think maybe Nick may have copied some of those designs, but he hasn't copied the horsepower that this awesome car of Keith Seume's produces yet. Backing up after the burnout. Now just coming forward into the staging beams. This, once again, is of course our first round of our Quick 8. We're going to see the handicap in the favour of Bill Griffiths. That car a little bit slower. It's been running in the 11s, getting some consistency, getting some power. Not that much of a handicap. Keith Seume already up alongside him. Looks like it's going to be a close race, but there you see Keith Seume, that power at the top end, really starting to tell. He can ease off, take it steady, back into the 11s, but still a very good run from him, and that'll see him through to the next round. We pick it up again in the next round, and we've just seen John Brewster taking that easy run. I don't think he's going to get such an easy ride here against Keith Seume. Great friends off the track, but when it comes to that quarter mile, deadly enemies. Both of them want to advance to that final. Keith Seume, this car not been without problems this year, some little breakages that have cost him dearly. You can see him just opening the door there, getting rid of the smoke from that burnout. It's very, very hot and claustrophobic in that car. The picture of concentration there on Keith's eyes. I'm sure the Keith Seume fan club will be very, very interested in the outcome of this race. John Brewster edging forward, just glances over at Keith Seume. Building the RPM. And away goes John Brewster. Keith Seume has all the catching up to do. The car hard on the wheelie bars there as he leaves the start line. That engine really running very well indeed. John Brewster heading for the finish line, but Keith Seume catching him at towards the top end and just takes that win. 10.62, 124 miles an hour, progresses to the final. Who sets up a very interesting final indeed. We've got the quick man from 91, Keith Seume, against the new kid on the block with this car. Really has pushed modified to a new limit this year, Paul Hughes. See a little bit of smoke there from Keith Seume's car, not only from the engine, but again, billowing out. As you can see, Keith concentrating very hard after the burnout, making sure he's back in those rubber tracks, wants to get maximum traction. Still, even with the speed of Keith Seume's car, we're still going to see something like a 2-second handicap in the favour of Keith. Paul Hughes going to have to be very patient indeed as he comes to the start line. A little bit of a staging war here, neither wanting to stage first. A lot of pride at stake here, and of course that trophy for Quick 8. Cars edging forward. Keith Seume away on those wheelie bars hard again. A little bit of tyre spin there for Paul Hughes. That could cost him dear. Really has had some traction problems. Look at this for a top end race. It's close, but that horsepower at the top end just pulls Paul Hughes through to that win. We're looking at the replay there. We can see Keith Seume away on those wheelie bars. We can see Paul Hughes waiting patiently. A little bit of tyre spin, but just enough grip, just enough power to take the win. So well done to Paul Hughes, and a great weekend's racing. Over to the show and shine.
The great thing now, it's a lot easier to restore. When you look at so many vehicles now, would have been in scrapping.
Yeah, sure.
In fact, you go to your scrapping.
Out there now with the No Mercy car. Don't forget, of course, to support Keith in his endeavours, buy him one of those great looking t-shirts that he's put together, done all the artwork, the colour separation himself, and really has turned out a fine t-shirt with the car on it depicting No Mercy split. I think they're £8 each. Great looking t-shirt. Don't forget, of course, that Keith's going to be out later in eliminations. I know he wants to thank personally John Webster from JMW Chassis, who really has done a great deal of work on this car, and it really has made it run narrow. Spinning the tyres away from makes it clear through the 8th mile. Looks like another good pass. He's already run low 11s in the car. Let's see what he runs now.
Regularly into the 10s this weekend, and once I got that established, then I can start playing around suspension a lot more, try and get the car to launch better, try and get it to run a little straighter and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully try and get into the 10s this weekend. That's my main aim.
So how is this car different from the other modifieds, not giving away any secrets?
The prime difference is the chassis. It's a full chrome moly tube chassis brought in from the States. The engine is one of the 3 turbocharged cars over here, but it's the only car over here that's got an engine completely built, and that in the UK. All the other cars tend to be in imports. It's a Rage A turbo system. It's putting out 400 brake horsepower at the moment. There's the option later on of running with nitrous oxide, which will take it up to about 470 brake horsepower. The car weighs 1,350 pounds, so it makes for quite an interesting ride, to say the least.
Yeah. What's it like to drive compared to the other cars you've been in?
It's very easy to drive. Seems a strange thing to say, but I took the car along to John Webster's chassis shop and had it all set up properly, got all the corner weights and that done, all the geometry set perfectly, and I must admit that every time now it comes off the line it just wants to run absolutely arrow straight. The only problem we have here at the moment is just the wind, because when you go past the banking at the end it tends to push you out of line a little bit.
Yeah.
But the wing on the back helps quite considerably to keep it stable.
Yeah.
But in general, no, it's very, very nice, very easy to drive.
Yeah.
Keith Seume there giving us the lowdown on one of the quick cars. Talking of quick cars, we now move on to our quick race eliminations, our all-out races, and it's going to be very interesting. There's some good pairings been thrown up in this quarter-final. First pair out here, Keith Seume with the No Mercy car, a very early model buck, as he's already said, imported, basically a 55 body shell over that chrome moly chassis. Really makes it a very potent car indeed. The man that's going to have it all to do is going to be Murray Griffin with the Mr. Gong car. He's in the pit lane. Now Murray, he's going to have to try and leave hard and hope for some problems with Keith Seume's car. It looks as though there may be a few problems there, a little bit of smoke coming from the back of Keith Seume's car, but starting to pull past Murray Griffin at the top end, opening out a great big gap there, goes through 13.53. 86 miles an hour for Keith Seume. And as always at all our Volkswagen events, a capacity crowd, not only enjoying the fun, the festivities, but some class racing from all of our competitors. Semi-finals time in our quick 8. Keith Seume, the man with the No Mercy split, out there again, and he's going up against Beetlejuice. Well, Jim Bowen, a 12.48. That's a quick run from a super street car, but of course, Keith Seume's a modified vehicle, a little bit quicker, a little bit more money been spent on the car, and in theory, on paper, it should be Keith Seume's race, but we've already seen that Jim Bowen is a very, very quick leave on that start line. He really does read the lights very, very well indeed. His reaction times are at the moment a lot quicker than Keith Seume. So an interesting race here in stall as Keith Seume brings the RPM up, leaves the start line. You just see the wheelie bars digging in there. Well, a good start for Keith Seume. A little bit of smoke there as he goes up towards the finish line. Let's hope that's not going to cause him problems in the next round. But taking the win, again tried by Jim Bowen, but it was Keith Seume that advances to the final.